Hello and welcome back to 2 Museum. We're here in our aquarium on Passwater Cove, and in this video we're going to continue expanding this aquarium, and then we're going to hop over to our prehistory museum in Memento Mile and expand on that a little bit. And so we have all this space here for more aquariums, or our existing ones here have plenty of space for some more fish. But if we take a look at our expedition map and we go to the 2.C, it looks like Marina Junction is our next location that we can easily get to. So we just need to place down a fresh food feeder. This location needs 5 botany exhibits, so we're not going to be able to get that until we go back to our prehistory museum. And then this one, we're not really going to be able to get anything at the moment from it. But this is one that we could potentially get sometime soon. But anyway, let's get a new aquarium down. So we can grab this. And now thinking about where we want to put this new aquarium, I do think maybe we could do something like this. We'll get the door back here, and that still leaves this area open for the bones and other exhibits, but we will want a place for some of our carnivorous fish that we are about to get since we've unlocked this fresh food feeder. And so let's start by sending out an expedition so that we can get one of those. We can see here Marina Junction is now unlocked, and that leads us to a whole bunch of new places. And so we'll set up this expedition with just this journal, as there's no injuries to get rid of. We'll just have to hope that we don't get either of these. Well, I guess 2 of these events will happen, so I guess both of these will happen on this expedition. But it's our first time going there, so I suppose that's to be expected. And so it looks like our crate has finally come back. We can now open this and see what we got from it. And so we got this lionhead fish with main character syndrome. We will get that placed right away into an aquarium. So it needs to go here, but we need to quickly get a heater in to make it a tropical aquarium. So now that this guy's in here, it does take up almost half of the capacity of this tank, so we could probably get one more of these. However, we can see it has the pescatarian trait, so we can't just put the other tropical fish in here or else it will eat them. So only fish that take up 2 of these fish slots or more can exist with this lionhead fish. So that's why we had to keep them separate. And so let's go back to our expedition map. It actually looks like we can unlock another place right away. And all the way down here, we'll need to farm a fish to unlock that one. So we're not going to get too deep on the 2.C map at the moment. There is another fish here we can unlock. We could also do this one and get 2 more temperate fish. So I think we'll do one more expedition here, and then we'll explore this area to see what kind of temperate fish we can get. And so while we continue waiting, we will detail up this little aquarium. Now we don't necessarily have too much to do, since this one is a little bit smaller, but we can still throw down some plants. Make this whole area look good. We'll get some grass down, since that's a pretty good ground cover for these aquariums. And it's nice that you can sort of place them through existing decorations. So it's almost like the grass is meant to be there. Alright, now I'll say this looks good enough. We were even able to get the buzz bonus on this lionhead fish. We'll just have to continue waiting as our next expedition goes out. I'm not really too sure about the placement of this exterrogator skeleton anymore since we added this aquarium here. I do think it does kind of fit along the wall here, but it just feels kind of closed off and crammed. I'm not sure what other kind of exhibits we can get, but this might look good if we sort of center it on the space that's in here. So let's see if maybe we can get this centered right on this location. I think right there is exactly where we'll want it. So now this sort of becomes the main attraction in this area, and if we get anything smaller, it can go along this wall back here. Alright, and so this time we got a hermit turtle, always prepared for turtle war. So it looks like it has a little shield on its back. This is a pretty cool design. It's epic quality, so that's actually pretty good for us. And this one doesn't prey on other fish, so I think this can just go on our regular tropical fish exhibit. And it looks like we have a health inspector coming through. I'm pretty sure we're good on everything. I think maybe the last time he came through there wasn't enough bins, so maybe let's just get another few bins down. So I think let's get one right here by the tour area. We have one at the end of this hallway. I suppose we can get one in the corner by this door. I think that's good enough. We have one in the bathroom. We have one at these corners by the vending machines. So I'm pretty confident that we'll do okay with this health inspection. Attention. So I'm not sure what's going on here with our tour. Is it... I wonder if it's not... I'm not too sure what's going on here. It says staff is required, so maybe we just need to hire another marine life expert. But I'm still not sure what this exclamation mark means. There's nothing... Maybe it's attached to this mural. Oh, I think maybe placing this trash can here blocked the mural. Let's get that placed back in and see if that's what the issue was.
We are monitoring the exhibits. You just happen to be on camera.
Or I guess we're just getting an error. So I'm not sure why we were able to place this before and now we can't, but that's a little unfortunate. We'll just get this tour back along the wall. We'll get our trash can placed back here. I suppose we can just put in some regular marine life stuff. So these water walls. I guess that's good enough for that area. And then we did finish our advert for a new marine life expert. We'll hire them. I'm not sure if it's entirely needed that we had to hire them, but now we have them. And we can start an expedition on this Tide Mountain map. So there's 2 temperate fish here we can get. Let's set this up. Let's see if there's anything we can avoid. So this one's dangerous. The fish food MIA. That means there's a chance we could lose one of our staff doing this if we don't put someone in with the pilot wings perk. And we do have this person with pilot wings, so I think we'll do that just to get rid of the MIA threat. And the rest of these I think will be fine. There's no injuries we could avoid, so I guess we'll just go for XP and we'll send them out on a detailed expedition. I think another thing we could do to help benefit our museum is get a few more donation bins down. Unfortunately, I don't think we have the large donation bin unlocked. Or I guess we can. For 500 kudosh, we can get this large donation stand. And I think we'll do that. We'll place it down here, and we can get rid of this small one that's right next to it. Sure, we'll get rid of it. I know we didn't get all the donations from it, but I think that large one here, centered on all these aquariums, will do pretty good. We can get some more small ones down. I think right next to the tour stand might be a good spot for one. This one here is covering this area. And we don't have any other exhibits along these walls, so I think just having that one there and then this one being upgraded will be just fine. Alright, so now our first crate back from Tide Mountain has returned. Unfortunately, it looks like one of our experts got the seasickness illness from that expedition, but let's see what we got anyway. It should be a new temperate fish. It is a bull shark. So this looks like one of those carnivorous ones, so we might not be able to place it just yet because we don't have the space. It doesn't tell us in here what it does, so we'll place him in. And yeah, it is a pescatarian trait, so unfortunately I don't think he's going to be able to go in here for now. We're just going to have to move him to our inventory until we can build up enough space for a new aquarium somewhere else. And so what I think we're going to do here to wrap up our Passwater Cove aquarium at the moment is we're going to go out on another expedition. We're going to get the last temperate fish here at this location, and then we're going to head back over to Memento Mile so that we can continue expanding out on that museum, and then eventually we'll come back here, probably not in this video, but we can then expand into this area with much more aquarium space by then. Now, looks like we got the results of our health inspection back. Looks like everything went well, no cons, plenty of rewards. We'll accept those. Alright, now let's see what this last exhibit is. Hopefully it's the other fish that we need. And it is. It's a painted portside fish. This one's pretty cool. Looks like it only has eyes on this side of it. The other side's completely blank. But this seems like one that isn't, doesn't have the pescatarian trait. So I think this can go in with our regular fish here. We can click him, and yeah, he does not have the pescatarian trait, so this is all good. We are reaching our capacity. I assume this is a big fish, so a rare specimen with high buzz and a breeding chance. 2 in the same tank will lead to fighting and possible death. So I think this trait isn't on all of these painted fish. I think this is only on special ones. So we just got lucky with the big fish trait here. We just have to make sure when we get another one, it doesn't also have the big fish trait. But I think maybe if we get one more of those, this aquarium will be in a pretty good state. However, I think this is a good spot to leave off our Passwater Cove map. And so we'll head over to Memento Mile, and we'll be right back once we're over there. Alright, and here we are back in Memento Mile, and this is our lovely prehistory museum. And I think what we're ready to do is begin expanding onto this plot. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to basically extend off of this portion here. We're basically going to extend almost like a connecting tunnel over into what will be this building. Now the tricky part's going to be making it blend because we are cutting off this path to this fountain. And I'm not really sure how best to go about this, because I do like the look of this. There is a way around if it really does matter. And maybe even we can just extend across here, and this will just be sort of one large main building. So I think we'll go with that. We'll see if we can just sort of extend this over here, what we can come up with, and hopefully whatever we end up with won't look too bad in the end. Alright, and after a fair bit of adding and changing some details, I think this is a nice addition. We're not going to fill up the whole lot, obviously, or at least not yet, but we did do this little addition, so we'll have this sort of opening gateway area here. This will allow guests to leave if they want, and then over here, this I think will end up being a little bit of a garden area. So we have this partitioned off with hedges. We sort of mirrored this side over on this side so that we get a nice sort of symmetry in this garden when we start filling it out with some of our plants and other things that we end up getting. And then we have this space over here for all the indoor stuff that we want to eventually do. And so I think we can do a fair bit more detailing in here to help usher us into this area. So I think we're going to section that off with a wall. We'll section this area off with a wall. And then we'll get an archway there. And then I think we'll get maybe 2 security archways right here. So you're entering a new portion of the museum. You'll go through a security archway. I'm not sure if that's overkill since we already have one at the entrance here. I think I think it probably is a little overkill. I think it'd be nice just to have the sort of regular archway here. We'll have that right in the middle. And this can just be filled up with vending machines, trash cans, whatever other guest utilities might be needed here. Alright, so this is a nice area here. I think now we're ready to... Well, first of all, we should be able to unpause this. Everything will go back to functioning normally. And then we can start sending out some experts on expeditions. So we have... we already unlocked the cold mines. I'm not sure... Or I guess we didn't. We didn't really unlock any of the cold stuff yet. So... I'm not sure if we'll do the cold stuff with botany, because I don't think those really go too well together. But perhaps maybe this outdoor section will be some botany exhibits, and then indoors will be our frozen section. Unless maybe we have another spot we could put some of the frozen exhibits. Well, I think along this wall, let's have some of our frozen things. We'll throw our botany exhibits out here once we are able to unlock those, and then maybe some of this remaining space can be botany or some other things. But anyway, going back to our expeditions here, we do have the cold mines. Looks like we can unlock another thing, vintage vestiges. So this actually has more fossils and more prehistory mysteries. This one has 3 frozen finds. And then the Great Mine Ridge, we need a drill for, so that'll be a while. And over here, Last Woods is one we'll get into some botany exhibits. But we'll explore the cold mines a few times, try to get at least 2 of these frozen finds exhibits, and then we'll be back once we're ready to place these down. Alright, so in preparation for some of these frozen exhibits, we sectioned off this area, which I think is definitely large enough for some of the frozen things we'll find. I'm not sure how many there are. We can go into our sticker book and maybe we can see them, but I don't think we have... It looks like these might be all the frozen stuff. And that looks to be about 5 things, so hopefully we can fill this space with just 5 different exhibits. We might have to throw some duplicates in here if we want to keep the size of this, but overall, maybe we continue with the floors that we have, so maybe we extend this red carpet through a bit more. That'll give us some space here. Maybe this side can be a little bit more detailed than over here, since there's less space on this side of the carpet. And then continuing on prepping this area, we're going to need some freezers. I'm not sure how far one freezer goes. It doesn't look like it goes that far, So maybe we just get one in each corner. It might get a little warm along this wall. We'll just have to see once we get some of these exhibits placed. Unfortunately, these are a little bit hard to disguise. Now, maybe we can just toss some of these snow pillars in front of them, but if we take a look here... Okay, so that didn't actually seem to affect them. Some of these things that change the climate of a room can be affected by objects placed around them. So thankfully it looks like these chillers or whatever they are aren't really affected by decorations, as we can see as we place these pillars. So I think that's good. We'll keep this. We'll turn off that visualization. Oh, and if we look here, we got a VIP visit. Jasmine Odyssey thanked us for their visit to the museum. They enjoyed it so much there that they've given us one of their golden records. She may have lost a lot of them, but it is still special. Okay, so we have I assume a special exhibit we can place down. So here we have the Jasmine album. We're just going to place it here with our sort of generic things that we have here. We might get a special spot for some of these more unique finds, but I think it all ends up just fine. I think this one's pretty cool, and it looks like it's attracting a ton of people. So, and it does have 100 buzz, which I think is up there with some of our top exhibits, so hopefully we'll get tons of donations from it as well. I believe it's fully maxed out, full knowledge, full decoration, full buzz, so I think that's going to be a great way to generate money for the museum. Alright, now we have gotten all of our frozen finds from that one location. So we have this frozen cave person. We'll have them placed... I guess we'll have them placed right here. We'll get this frozen beehive. That will go right here. And then our last one, which is a frozen fridge, can go right there. Now, maybe just for balance purposes, maybe this frozen cave person goes over. Frozen fridge goes in the center since it's the tallest thing. So maybe something like that wouldn't be too bad. Now the issue is going to be getting this to blend in well, as there's not that much snowy or icy decorations if we just search for them. The only snow decorations really are these rocks and snow pillars. So I think we're going to have to blend these in with some plants and other stuff. Now there are a few variations of these rocks which will help out, but it's not going to be perfect. So we'll see what we can do in this area. We'll see, hopefully we can get something that ends up looking at least decent. But we'll be back once we hopefully have something here. Alright, and so I think what we've ended up with here is actually pretty decent. I think the plants and the snow kind of go pretty well together. We do have an icy floor that we could use, but I don't think I'm a fan of how it looks. Maybe, yeah, I was gonna say maybe in some areas it could work, but I think if we just stick with the dirt everywhere, that'll be just fine. So now we need to get some info boards and donation stands set up. And I think we can get just one large donation stand in the middle right here. That'll probably attract a good crowd. These wall ones won't work. We do have these glass info stands, which I wouldn't be opposed to. It is a little awkward. It looks like some people are getting stuck. That was weird. Maybe we can just have one of these glass ones on each side, and I think that'll be fine. I believe that provides enough knowledge to each one of these. But I think now this area has come along pretty well. We will need... Will our security cameras reach? I'm not sure if our security cameras will. Yeah, it looks like it's out of range. You can see it go from blue to gray, which I assume means it's out of range. We can get one here for this area, but I think we'll have to get a new set of utilities in this building. We'll get a security seat though, just to be safe, so we sort of always have someone stationed in here. I suppose we can get one on each side, and that would help cover pretty much the whole room. And so we have a couple of notifications stacked up. Let's check these and make sure it's nothing important. Rewards for showcases, monthly finances, health inspection, not enough bins and too much litter. That's a bit of an issue. I'm not sure where that is though, because I don't see immediately any litter, but maybe we can get just another janitor and that'll help out. I'm not too sure. We might want to get another expert. These are prehistory ones, so maybe we look for a prehistory expert. We are going to have to look for a botany expert, as that's going to be our next set of expeditions. So we'll just wait a moment while we let this applicant come in. So we have this prehistory expert, we'll hire him, get them placed. And now I think we're ready to start venturing into botany. Now we do have this frosted tops that we can unlock. This will get us another frozen find, and it looks like some dinosaur bones. So maybe we will do this one, and then we'll do some botany ones, just so that we can fill out our frozen area a bit more. But it looks like this clears all of that, so we can just get XP and then get on our way with that. And so while we wait for these exhibits, I think maybe let's try to make this garden area look a bit nicer. So we'll get rid of some of these trees so we can get a more defined edge. I think we're gonna have to get rid of some of this stuff here. Thankfully that's not really doing much. We can pick up this hedge, and I think we might just be better off selling it and replacing it. So we can grab this thick hedge, and we'll just extend that to connect there. And we can pretty much do the same thing on this side, but let's see if we can just extend this out first. We'll grab this one, we'll line it up with the corner here, then we'll meet at the corner. We'll grab the edge, turn this into a nice corner, and then this will come around. And what is this? This is a tree hedge. Maybe we can unlock that as well. So only 50 kudos for that. I will happily easily get that. And now we have a nice little sectioned off area of our garden. Alright, we have a crate waiting here. Let's see if this is a frozen find or one of the dinosaur fossils. And it looks like it's one of the dinosaur fossils, a snowy howl skeleton. This is a 4-piece exhibit, so we'll send that to our inventory for now until we get a few more pieces. We'll pretty much just go straight out into the next one. Actually, we'll want to make sure we get someone that will get rid of this MIA situation going on. So no one with pilot wings. That's odd because, or maybe it must have been one of our assistants. Yeah, so we'll bring an assistant along that has pilot wings, do the same thing, send them out, and continue moving on. So now continuing the plan for our garden, I think we'll get this dirt, and that will come out like so. That provides a nice little path here. Now we'll have to wait for exhibits to detail this a little bit further because I'm not sure what size and what they're going to look like and everything. But I think for now, just having this dirt path come straight out will be just fine. I'm sure we'll have another dirt path here and here so we can have multiple exhibits in these areas. We'll get some nice plants in there. I think since this is a garden, we can probably try to get some nicer grass in through this area. So this one's not too bad. This one's a bit brighter. I think I'm okay with the darker grass. So yeah, let's leave this. We'll get that row there. I think this ends up being a nice grassy area for a little bit of a garden. Now we do have an extra lone henge exhibit that we never sent to this deconstructor, so we'll analyze that. That should fill out our last bit of knowledge for the lone henge, and then I think we'll also get some more of this enlightenment for prehistory stuff. So I think that might get us this ancient tree. Not too sure, but our next crate came in. Let's take a look at what this is. And this is a frozen Mondo Mono Beast. The mind boggles, picturing the size of the brow responsible. So this looks like it's just a big woolly caterpillar. So this will be interesting. Now, we're just going to place this down. We're not going to decorate it just yet. But hopefully we can see this is... Okay, this is in an area where it's not going to melt. So, thankfully it seems like everything's working out just fine here. We're going to leave this section off. I was thinking about maybe we could place our archway already, but I think we'll just leave this here. We'll wait until we finish out the skeleton and maybe get some other frozen things later on to detail some of these corner areas, because I'm not too sure how much more there is to find of these frozen things. But it still does pretty much get max ratings just due to everything on the other side of the room. So even if we don't detail it, it still gets pretty much its max bonuses. And so let's take a quick look at our staff, as we haven't done that in a while. We want to make sure that the pay is okay for all of them. So we're just going to satisfy all pay requests. We're not really swimming in money to make anyone necessarily super happy with their pay. We actually need to go to all staff and then click that. Job assignments, we're not going to worry about that just yet. We're not quite big enough to really worry about that. I guess what we could do is hit all pay 1%, and that'll help out a little bit. But we did just unlock some more stuff from deconstructing that rune that we had. So we'll claim that ancient tree. There's a whole bunch of other stats we can look at here. We have our guest list, which I guess just shows us everyone. Some of their stats, their desire to stay, how much they've donated. So, it looks like almost everyone in there has donated at least something. It looks like we can sort by donations. So we can see there are a couple of people who haven't donated. There's a lot of people who have donated a lot. There's a good bit of people who are wanting to leave. Some people aren't too happy. I'm sure if we click them, we can find out why. So it looks like mostly toilet and drinks. But it looks like they're using the toilet now, and there's some drink machines in the area. Now, much similar to job assignments, we have zone assignments, which, again, we're not going to quite worry about that just yet. I think maybe if we get a really big building over here, we might start to worry about zones. Maybe this becomes more prehistory and fossils, and this becomes more botany stuff. And then maybe we might need to start separating people out. Or if we have separate buildings with different entrances and ticket booths, that would probably be a time that we would want to use the zoning stuff. But for right now, I don't think we need to do that. Our finances seems to be doing well. We don't need any loans, but it's nice to see we do have a good amount of loans available. We have some sponsorship things, which we don't need, but we might take soon. We have a Cheesy Gubbins plushies, which we can just add to a gift shop, but I'm not sure if we have space for one at the moment. And then this bungled bin, but I'm not sure if we're going to use either of those. We're not going to touch any prices, but I think everything else is just fine. And so finally, after all of that, I think we're ready to start looking into some botany stuff. So let's get in here. We'll look for a botany expert, which we have one available to us already. We'll get them hired, and then we can send them out on this expedition to clear this obstruction. So first we'll take care of the injury. Unfortunately, we might get this plus 15 days, but that's fine. And so while we're just sort of waiting for things to happen, let's see if we can start training some people. So we have a lot of our experts here, and I think it would be beneficial to start getting some things on some of these guys. So maybe some of these more useful things like pilot wings would be helpful for Crispin Tundra. What does this analysis room? So that's just analysis room proficiency. It might be helpful to have someone with survey skills, although that really only helps with our survey gain on expedition, so maybe not that. I think we'll just get another expert with pilot wings. It doesn't hurt to have. Actually, we'll go survey skills. I know we've been flipping back and forth, but I think if we have someone with sort of each of these specialization things, that might help out at some point along the way, especially when we run into dilemmas and some other stuff. And we got our reward for clearing up that obstruction, and of course it's just XP, as it usually is for those types of things. Our person did get an illness, so let's unlock Bigfoot Gardens first. We have 2 man-eating plants here that we can unlock. Looks like we can unlock this immediately. Primal Frontier, so that gives us more prehistory mysteries and some mountainous plants. But let's send our botany expert to the Remedial Springs just to quickly clear up his illness before we start sending him out again. And we have 2 more botany experts we can hire. We'll just get 1 more so we can be sending 1 out and have 1 in the museum at all times. So unfortunately we do have to wait before we can send this guy out. But now we're in a good position. Looks like we have our choice of a few areas we can go to. But I think we'll start here in Bigfoot Gardens. What do we need? So we just need to run a plant tour containing 2 man-eating plants with a rating over 3. So once we fulfill that, we can probably easily get that POI unlocked. But we'll set up an expedition, botany expert, and a security guard. We'll bring some cargo. Looks like just a journal would do pretty well. So we'll do that, send them out, and we'll wait and see what we get. While we wait for them, I think we'll also get another security guard. Since we do have a bit more space now, we'll want them, make sure we have enough of them to cover everywhere. And of course we got a dilemma on this expedition. So looks like as your team carries its prize to find through the jungle, several members of the team are struck by crippling hunger and they will not shut up about it. Guess it wouldn't hurt to just break out the cheesy gubbins. And it looks like everything went well with that. So I guess nothing happening is as good as anything on an expedition. And they should be back momentarily, as we can see up here in the corner. They're just about to finish exploring. Okay, now let's see what our first plant is going to be at our prehistory museum. So it's a blooming buffoon. The flower's laughable pattern is thought to have inspired the design of circus tents everywhere. It is epic quality. So let's see if we can place this outside. So it looks like we can place it outside. Now the real question is, can we get these climate requirements for it? So we'll place this right here, seems like a pretty good spot. And then I believe we needed a heater. So we'll get a heater back here, as well as a mister. And it looks like that does generate stuff outside. So this should work. Our only thing is there a way we can make this look better? Yeah, I'm not really liking our options too much here. And we could do this, and then maybe we can hide it behind some hedges. But I'm a little worried that that's going to snap our connection there. Actually, the hedges don't block it at all, so that's actually maybe something we can use. We can see it, but for our guests, it'd be a little bit more hidden behind the bushes here. And maybe that means we can slide this out a bit more so this heater can almost sort of reach around this corner. Let's see if there's anything else we can get placed out here to maybe hide these a bit better. Maybe just some regular trees. So we do have some pruned oak trees. These we could place back here, but that seems like a bit much. I think maybe we can get one there, but that clips through the wall. So that's definitely a no-go. So maybe we get one just sort of right there. We'll get another one here. And I think that'll be fine. I think that's a good enough sort of fence blocking these. And it still meets its requirements. So we'll keep that. We'll head out on another expedition, see if we can get the other plant. Autofill this. It looks like a bunch of illnesses we could get, but we'll just hope that we don't get any of those. And now, since this is outside, we'll still need donation bins. So we'll get one sort of right on the center of the path, which I believe is right here. We'll get that centered on that. We can get just a glass info stand. I guess we don't need a large one. We can just get this right next to it. We'll probably get one on the other side, since whatever other plant we get will probably go right across from it. I think this might need to just go back one more. Or actually, we can push these up, and that'll be just fine. Alright, and here we are with the other plant, a folding chap trap. Good while it lasts. So let's get this placed, and this will go, again, obviously right across from our other exhibit here. We'll try to get that centered on our donation bin. And it looks like this needs some moisture, so let's pause before it dries out, and we're pretty much just going to copy this setup over on this side here. Alright, so now with that copied, we have our first two plants out in our garden area. So I think just to start wrapping things up here, let's clear up our illnesses. It looks like we have 2 people with illnesses. So we'll do that. They'll go out. Let's go through our inbox. We got another exhibit to display. That'll go right there. All this other stuff. Just nothing really too much to worry about. And taking a look at our new area, I'm pretty happy with it. I think this is coming along really well. It seems like we're getting a pretty good amount of donations. So that's exciting. Unfortunately, it looks like we might need to have a doorway into this area so our janitors can clean up whatever mess is starting to appear, but we'll be getting into this area soon enough anyway. And so thinking about sort of our plan for the future, I think I want to get Memento Mile up to 2 stars. So that will include getting buzz bonuses on 75% of our exhibits, which we're pretty close. So hopefully it shouldn't be too hard to do that as we take a look through those. Have an analysis room with a level 5 decoration rating. That won't be too bad. And then installing 5 perks should be pretty easy as well, as we haven't installed any just because I haven't felt like we need to, but I'm sure if we just click something, we can come down here. We have plenty of perks we can start to apply. So that'll be probably what we do in the next video in terms of planning for the future. And so I think, again, working towards 2 stars, we're going to really get a lot of botany stuff going. So we'll probably fill out this garden with whatever plants we find, or maybe if we have to put them inside because there are some mountain plants, those might need a colder environment. We could always put those in here. But we'll do a good bit of botany stuff to help us unlock some more POIs on our maps. And then once we get Memento Mile in a good spot, we'll head back to Passwater Cove, maybe buy another plot, fill that out a little bit more, expand on our aquariums, and then we might open up a 3rd map and start with some of those exhibits. Alright, and so I think with that, we're at a pretty good stopping point, so we're going to end this video off here. If you enjoyed this episode, please like and subscribe. If you have any suggestions or feedback, leave a comment below. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.